Alright, welcome back everybody. Another episode of Sarcasm Speaks. Jared and Bob and Dickie. Is that dog food?
Basically. No.
I just happened to catch that out of the corner of my eye. Right
Canned
as
beans.
we kick it off. It's canned beans. Oh, is that your refried beans?
Yes.
Canned?
Protein!
I thought it was, I don't know. I didn't know what it was. I was mid-sentence and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. It looked like dog food.
You never tried the Alpo diet, though.
No, that's right. Just before we got on here, we were talking about all the diets that I've done throughout my life. And I've never done the Alpo diet. I've done keto, I've done carnivore, I've done the if it fits your macros.
You mean IIFYAM?
Yeah, yeah. I've done pretty much all of them, except the stupid ones like veganism and vegetarianism.
You know what someone told me the other day? Oh, I've gone Mediterranean diet. I'm like, what the fuck year is it?
That sucks.
Yeah. What the fuck even is a Mediterranean?
Now, I truthfully don't even remember. I thought it was like a bunch of fucking fruits, vegetables, and fish and shit.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Seafood, like hard bread, and
Seafood.
like it's all the stuff they eat like in Italy or Spain, like that food near there. Seafood, hard bread, olive oil on your salad. That's it. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's
So
like
just cook with olive oil.
basically,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
basically it's like not eating like a fat ass.
Yeah. Don't eat like an American.
Basically, eat vegetables, fish.
A lot of rice.
Don't eat your typical standard Western American diet.
No, you don't get to eat pasta.
Right. What do you mean? The Italians invented pasta. They eat pasta all the time. That's Mediterranean.
Yep.
And what about pizza? The Italians invented pizza too.
Yep.
Should be able to eat
Mediterranean. Pizza's a vegetable, right?
Yeah, I think so. What? Didn't it come out like Italians didn't actually invent pizza?
I just assumed that they wouldn't. Like,
Yeah, I think that's just
It's
made
too
up.
easy.
I think that's made up. I don't think they did. And I think
they definitely didn't invent chicken parm. I'll tell you that much.
China well, not China because the country didn't exist yet, but the Chinese people invented pasta. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Like egg noodles and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the Italians definitely did invent pasta. I think they got a lot of that shit through the trade through the Silk Road, and not the dark web website.
So allegedly, pizza is Italian origin.
Okay. So then it's pasta. That isn't. I knew it was one of like the bigger ones that wasn't. But hey, you know what is Italian though? Red wine. Today is National Drink Wine Day.
Well, it depends.
So
if
if
that's Italian wine.
No, technically it's California,
Oh, not Italian.
but it's red.
Bad segue.
Chianti's not good though. I mean, I don't like Chianti.
I don't think I've ever really drank
Yeah.
it. Is that what you have?
No, I have Cabernet. It's a California blend from Sonoma and something
I mean, nothing can really top a nice Carlo Rossi. So.
else. Oh my god, dude! So my college roommate Strickland, we bought a bottle of Carlo Rossi one night.
A jug.
A jug, yes.
It
It's like
It wasn't sold in bottles.
it's like a 3-liter jug.
Yes.
We, between me, him, and our other 2 roommates, this is when we lived in Miles, we finished the entire jug.
How good did you feel the next day?
Terrible, but I didn't drink a ton of it. Most of it was drank it by Strickland. At one point,
How did he feel
was
the next day?
taking the jug, and just drinking it from the jug. Well, fast forward to about like 3 or 4 a.m. and Strickland wakes up in the middle of the night. Doesn't feel so good.
It's so weird. I wonder why.
So I hear him like stumble around. He pukes in the common room
Nice. That would must have looked good.
and then goes to the bathroom. So I kind of like followed him in just to make sure it was okay.
This is a common bathroom, right? Or were you?
Yes,
you were
it's
in a
the
suite, right?
floor. Yeah, Miles didn't have
Nope.
private bathrooms. It was for the entire floor. Puked purple.
Yep.
It was straight
Yep.
Purple. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how wine peak works.
Yeah. it was unreal. And it was like I think it was one of the first times I'd actually seen that. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Oh yeah, that's right. We drank a lot of wine. We were drinking Colorasi. I think it was something. It was like Colorasi, like Paisano, like that one.
Oh.
It's like so cheap it doesn't even have a
name.
Like a name. Like it's not like a Cab or a Merlot or.
Basically, it's like,
Syrah.
hey, we have a bunch of bottom of the barrels, and we're just gonna mix them together.
That's exactly what it is.
So gross.
Yeah. But big shout out to Ghost Pines wine. It's very delicious.
How did you stumble upon that? Because I think I saw it at the store the other day.
It is. Well, I've had it before. I mean, I used to work at a liquor store. So
That guy was working in one liquor store.
Guy works in one
Knows
fucking liquor store.
Every bottle of wine that's ever existed.
Thinks he's a fucking sommelier.
Hey. Knows every bottle of wine that's ever come out.
But it's pretty good and it's relatively cheap. It's like middle of the road.
Have you had the Los Vascos?
I don't think so.
You try that.
So Flock Wines and More, by the way. So Ghost Pines, typically it's like around $25-ish a bottle.
That's expensive.
When I went to Wines and More last week, I got it because I was like, oh, this is a good wine, you know. And I got it for like $23, and I was like, that's a deal. Yeah, I got it for like $2 off of what it normally is.
Dubs have it for 17.
Well, I went to Dubs today on my way home from work, and I got it for $18.99.
Yep.
Dubs is the goddamn greatest place in the world. They are not a sponsor of the show, but I want them to be now.
I mean, it's where I buy most of my stuff from.
And some of my things.
I have bought things there before.
This is true. So, shout out to Dubs Liquor Store in good old Mansfield, Massachusetts.
That store is good. I do like it.
Yeah. You guys, if you're in the area, you need to go there. I don't care. I'm giving them free plugs because they're amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy National Drink Wine Day. I'm also the only asshole here drinking wine. Dickie, you should drink wine.
That's because I didn't know it was drink wine day.
You should. It's not too late. You should pour a glass.
I can.
You should.
Alright, well, filibuster for me. I'll pour myself a little bit of wine.
It's don't you know it's in poor taste to make people drink alone?
It's not in poor taste, it's actually a rule.
Yeah, you're not allowed to let someone
No one
drink
drinks
by
alone.
themselves.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't know it was a fucking occasion. I thought you were just being a raging alcoholic.
Because I'm on like quasi February vacation.
Keep the people occupied, will ya?
I am technically still working this week, even though it's February vacation, but I'm just doing like fun activities and shit. So, you know, there's that great stuff. So while he's pouring himself a glass of wine over there, everyone is kind of freaking out tonight. People just bitching. So President Trump, for some reason, decided today that he was going to issue a bunch of like pardons and commutations for like prison sentences and shit. And apparently people are like really upset about it because they're all like white collar criminals. I don't know who either of these people are, but he pardoned former, it tells me who they are right there, former New York Police Commissioner Bernie Carrot and financier Michael Milken. I don't know who either of those are outside of their titles as far as police commissioner and financier. There is one guy that he commuted the sentence for, that I do remember, is Rod Blagojevich.
Who the fuck is that?
He is the former governor of Illinois that when Barack Obama became president, his Senate seat was open and Blagojevich tried to sell it. He literally like told people like, how much money are you going to pay me for me to make you the senator? Because apparently the governor has that power.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Try that.
That's good. I like that. It's actually pretty similar to
Yeah, it's not as dry.
yeah, it's a little sweeter.
So quick segue on the Los Vascos.
Yeah,
I have a story on this one.
Yeah.
So one of my clients, he likes wine, and he likes cabs. So whatever. I like cabs.
I like
So
cabs.
we talk
Cabs.
We talk cabs.
Yeah.
So he's telling me because he's a successful guy. He does well. So he knows like ritzy ditzy fucking wine people.
This
So
is my account.
nope.
Oh,
This is the guy at TBC Boston.
oh okay.
So he tells me, he goes, oh, you gotta try the Los Vascos. So you have to try it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Didn't ask him what country, nothing. And I walked into Luke's one day trying to find it.
Yeah.
And then I did on an end cap. It was like it was fucking jumping out at me.
Is that Argentinian?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, sommelier over here.
Yeah, guy was working with us so once. So he goes, he's at a wine tasting. I think it was at his house, like for people he knows, whatever. Like we're doing a wine night, and this woman, like the sommelier or the wine person,
Yeah.
she's got like $100 bottles from Napa,
Jesus Christ.
whatever.
Yeah.
And you go, so they're tasting. He's like, not impressed by any of this.
Yeah.
So he pours a glass. He goes, just try this. She's like, wow, that is probably better than anything I brought.
It's earthy tones of
I don't even think she got into that.
cherry, dark cherry, and chocolate.
I don't even think it became that. I think it was just like, wow, I
Yeah.
drank that wine. It's better than anything that I brought.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, don't tell me how much you paid for it. He goes, you sure? She goes, maybe at the end of the night. It's an $8 bottle.
Jesus.
It's an
Fuck.
$8 bottle.
Wow.
That's this.
Wow, that is really good. That is, I would say that's just as good as the Ghost. It's slightly different.
Yeah.
It's a different profile, but it's still just as good as the $18.99 bottle of Ghost Pines.
Right.
And $25 in some places.
Yep.
So I've had...
Well, I'm sure the Los Vascos is also fucking 14 some places, but
Yeah.
it's like 8 to 10 is normal. 12 means you're at an expensive liquor store, and 14 is like fuck you.
Right. So I've had like $60, $70 bottle of wine, and it still tastes like wine.
Well, Crazy Dave the bartender has a woman that comes. Now we're not talking like it's just a regular bar, so they don't
Yeah.
have like all this shit on fucking
Right.
like in the wine cellar. But she'll get a nice glass, and then after that, it's just give me the house shit. Like
Right.
it's all the same.
Right.
She goes, after the first one, I don't taste anything.
Exactly. And it's like, like it's good. Like the expensive one is good. Like I've never had anything that's probably more expensive than like 70 or 80. Like that's probably the top. And the $80 bottle I might have had just once. But like I've had like a $50, $60 bottle a few times. And it's good, but like, is it worth it? No. Because I could get the same quality on a $20 bottle, or like roughly the same quality and the same taste profile from a $20 bottle.
Or it's like you buy a case of this, $48,
Right.
and if they hit you with like the what's a discount off 6?
Well, it depends. Most places do 15.
I was gonna say you work the liquor store once.
10, 15, and 20 on 3, 6, and 9.
All right, so we're buying 6.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't like that. Oh, it's $6. Yeah, so $42, 6 bottles. That's $7 a bottle. I mean,
Yeah.
you can oversee the slight differences
Right.
at that.
But 3, 6, and 12. I don't know. I've been out of the game for a little while. I forget how many. I think it's 12. 3, 6, and 12 is the case. Yeah, because the case drop is 20%.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Good stuff. So that's the corner with the sommeliers over
Yep.
here. Back to this bullshit about
the fucking guy who's selling a seat.
yeah, the people that like got out or whatever. So apparently Rob Blagojevich already did. He's done 8 years in jail, and Trump commuted the rest of his sentence. You got 18 years.
So 8 years. What was he? Was that? Is
He
this
was
like
in-
extortion?
He was in for 18. I don't know. Probably for some kind of fraud. I would probably maybe also extortion. Yeah. Sounds about right. Wow.
That seemed.
But like people are like super upset and they're freaking the
that
fuck
he's
out.
out,
Could,
or
yeah.
just in general.
just in general, that Donald Trump pardoned 3 guys today that are in for white collar crimes, and everyone's like, oh, the billionaires are out, like, oh, this person, that person, like, whatever, and it's like, I don't really give a shit that these guys are out of jail. Hey, brace yourselves for another potential unpopular opinion. I don't really give a shit about white collar crime.
Not really.
Like, it's not good, and like
Well,
it shouldn't happen.
So,
But like on the scale of things that I actually care about, it's not in the top. It's not at the top of the list. I don't really give a fuck.
So I mean, if I'm gonna be extreme for a second, you know, okay, so this guy tried to sell Obama's Senate seat.
Yeah.
Would you prefer a child murderer got out, child rapist,
Right.
murderer?
Right. Exactly.
Would you prefer Bernie Madoff got out,
Yeah.
Ponzi schemes? Because that's bullshit.
Right.
So that's the thing, like white collar crime, like Ponzi schemes one too, but this is ripping off old people. Like that's a shit fucking thing.
Right. Right.
Selling the seat.
But like I'm glad you brought that up. Good segue. People are like jumping to that conclusion, like, oh, who's next? Bernie Madoff? It's like, no, probably
I
not.
mean, unless Trump pardons him next,
Yeah, like, I mean, even that though, like, whatever.
Well, so here's the deal.
These guys
So-
have already been in jail for fucking, like, this dude Blagojevich was in jail for 8 years. Like, he tried to sell the Senate seat. Yes, what he did was wrong. He got an 18-year
That
sentence.
seems like
That's
a lot.
excessive.
That seems like a lot.
For all of these people that, so again, anyone on the left is going to bitch about anything that Trump does regardless.
Right.
So those are also the people, typically, people on the left, are the ones that typically say stuff like, oh, prisons are overcrowded. Oh, why do we have people in jails for misdemeanors when they don't need to be there? Well, why do we need a dude in jail for 18 years? He's already served 8 for trying to sell a Senate seat, dude. Like,
See, I look
it's-
at who the victim is
Like, I
in
don't-
these.
yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
so who's the victim? Rich white dudes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Obviously, I'm being a little extreme here because
Rich
obviously
people.
Obama. It's rich people. It's the upper class. It's the 1%. It's such a small population.
Right.
He's trying to sell a Senate seat to fucking people just like him.
And no one got hurt. It involves money. When it's just money that's involved, I
Comes
don't really give a shit.
Yeah, you can't take it with you.
But like, if someone's a murderer,
yeah,
or like
or
someone's
even
a
Bernie
a
Madoff.
rapist,
I would say if Bernie Madoff got off, I'd be like, wow, that kind of fucking sucks because he just went around ripping off old people,
Yeah.
unsuspecting old people.
So his case is a little different. He actually just applied for early release because he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he wants to spend like the last whatever year of his life and die not in a jail. So if that were to happen, people
Extenuating circumstances.
people would flip out and be
Okay.
like, I can't believe this fucking guy just got. Well, like even if he
Okay,
if
so
he got
a
let
100
out,
if a
it's 'cause he got
100%
let out
healthy.
to die not in jail.
Okay, let's say there's another guy out there, Ernie Padoff.
Yeah.
So Ernie Padoff
Yeah.
ran a Ponzi scheme down in Florida,
Right.
ripping off old people,
Right.
fucking up their retirements,
Yeah.
like having them siphon cash out of their 401k, their social security, like leaving them kind of like high and dry and fucked.
Yeah.
And that guy's 100% healthy, doesn't have terminal cancer.
It doesn't deserve to be out.
No, if you pardon that person, it's a lot different than a guy who tried to sell a Senate seat.
Right.
It's all the same fucking people.
Right. And I have no idea what those other 2 guys did. And I don't really care. either.
Financier, what do you think he did?
Yeah, cheated money.
Yeah,
Like whatever.
money laundering,
Again,
probably.
don't care.
Don't care.
Don't give a shit. They didn't hurt anyone.
What do you steal from rich people?
Yeah, exactly.
No one feels bad for rich people.
Right. Right. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
But people just fucking flip out for no reason. It was fuck. What did one of my favorite things was like last month I think. Trump tried to pass or is working to pass or maybe he did sign it into law. Something that made animal abuse like a legitimate criminal offense, and it wasn't on the news. Like no one covered it.
That's because there was nothing to bitch about.
Right. Because you can't. Because if anyone so the way things go typically is like Trump does something and the immediate reaction from the left is what he did was wrong. We need to fuck this guy. He sucks. He shouldn't have done that. But like he went and like made animal abuse or did something along the lines of like making animal abuse like criminally like a criminal offense now, and it was crickets.
Yep. Yep. What are you gonna do?
And then I think it may have gotten like a quick, not even a headline. It may have gotten like a quick read, like 30 to 40 seconds of coverage on like major news channels, and then like they just moved it right along. Like, oh, Donald Trump today signed a bill that made animal abuse criminally illegal, and on to the next thing. Oh, we're going to World War III. Like I think that's probably like how it happened.
Most
like,
likely.
Yeah, which is whatever. It's fucking stupid, but. Speaking of like shit people and being stupid and all this weird shit is the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts are going away.
Yeah, they go bankrupt?
The Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy. So the title of this article from the Washington Post says, Boy Scouts of America files for bankruptcy amid wave of potential lawsuits. So,
is this?
Facing a wave of lawsuits over sexual abuse allegations. They filed for bankruptcy, which, hey, are you surprised?
Nope.
Nope, me neither.
That was what I was saying when you said a thing of lawsuits. I'm like, oh man, that would, because I'm thinking diddling.
Yeah, oh yeah, yep, that's exactly what it was.
Yep.
Oh, you mean when you take a group of, like, ostracized middle-aged men and leave them around groups of small boys that are unsupervised? You guys thought that was cool? You guys just thought that was a good idea? Like, no one was like, yeah, that guy, Jethro, the troop 5, 6, 7, 8 leader, doesn't have any kids, is not married,
likes trench coats
lives in his parents' basement. Yeah, no. He's fine. He can pass a Corey. We'll let him be a Boy Scout leader. Like, dude, come on. Now, like, so I do know a small handful of people that are Boy Scout troop leaders, and they're adults, and for all intents and purposes, they're fine. A little strange, but like the two that I know that I can think of off the top of my head are married with children. So like, it's one of those things where like they might have started, or I know for a fact one of them was a Boy Scout as a child and continued with it throughout his entire life, and now he's the troop leader. And I think the other one was one of those like, oh, my son is going into Cub Scouts and they need a troop leader, so I'll be the fucking troop leader, and then it just keeps rolling through the years. But like, I feel like those guys are the exceptions. I feel like.
So you're saying the majority of troop leaders are diddlers?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, if those guys are the exceptions,
It's weird. I think if you don't have a son, or I guess child, because they just made the Boy Scouts fucking unisex last year. So if you don't have a child that's in the Boy Scouts, you have no business being a troop leader. Sorry.
Again, I think that's fair.
Unpopular opinions all day today.
Because here's the deal. If you don't like that, well, this is why we have diddlers.
Exactly. Like that's how you make sure that you don't have diddlers as fucking troop leaders.
Yep. It's actually pretty simple.
If you don't have a son or a child, again, sorry, because it's 2020 and you can be whatever the fuck you want to be now. If you don't have a child in the Boy Scouts, you have no business being a fucking troop.
Like, dude, do you guys want me like leading your fucking troop of Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
And so I'm not a fucking diddler. I don't fucking like your kids that much. But
I actually hate kids.
I fucking hate kids. But like, that's my job. No, but like, you guys know I'm a degenerate gambler. I drink on fucking camera, and like, you want me as your fucking Boy Scout leader? Right. Probably not.
No. Nope. It's That's all I have to say about that. Is there are so many lawsuits coming their way that they have to file for bankruptcy. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Nope. That's what you get. So, hey, maybe they.
Funny, there's really nothing to expound upon on that.
No, maybe they shouldn't have gone unisex.
Nah, there's no way they're touching girls. No way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because people are fucking weird, but either way, it's whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was always such a weird thing, man. The
Yeah.
whole Boy Scout, Cub Scout, like...
Yeah, I did Cub Scouts when I was a kid,
I did too, but like...
but I stopped after whatever, like, the second one. Like, what does it go, like, Tiger, Bear, Wolf?
I couldn't even tell you, man.
I think I stopped after Bear.
I couldn't even tell you, but I just remember... I don't even know why. They might have asked me, and like a bunch of people were doing it, but if it's like Cub Scouts, it's like, alright, well, that was like a winter thing.
Right.
Okay, well, I played hockey, played
Right.
basketball.
Right.
So those things came first.
Yeah, that's actually why I quit too, because I was playing sports.
And then it's like, oh, Cub Scouts? It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, because that was the thing. You would have to go to Cub Scouts. I think it was like one night a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I played indoor soccer in the winter, so it was like I would have practice like once or twice a week, and then we would have games like
You
sporadically.
have winter baseball clinics.
Yeah, I had winter baseball clinics too. Yeah, so I would like always have to miss it, and then it got to the point where like, you know, the people at Cub Scouts were like, well, you can't keep missing. Like, if you want to keep going, you can't keep missing. So like, I remember my dad being like, hey, dude, like, you know, you gotta make a choice. Like, are you gonna keep, you know, playing sports that are like your winter out of season, or do you want to do Cub Scouts? And I was like, no, I want to do sports.
Yep.
And he was like, all right, cool, it's fine.
Well, especially primarily as a hockey player growing up, it's like,
Right.
yeah, I'm going to hockey over everything else you have for me here. Like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
It's even funny too, because now I fucking hear about some of this bullshit, like, oh, I have a tutor, or I have an SAT tutor, I've got a regular tutor,
Yeah.
I got orchestra, I got band, I got chorus. It's like, I never had time for any of that shit.
No.
And the kids play more fucking sports now.
When I did,
I didn't even. We were not fucking straight out the way they are now.
When I did,
and I didn't have time for this shit.
It was during the day in school. Like, we took band as a class.
Yeah, never.
Like, it was.
I'm so glad I never had to play. Did you ever have to? What instrument did you play growing up?
Skin flute.
No. When you were young.
The regular flute. I graduated to the skin flute.
Yeah, natural progression.
Yeah.
So
well, technically, I started with the violin. Because remember when you were in you went to.
So I went to Catholic school. I never had to play a fucking queer instrument.
So when you were in like elementary school, you had to play the violin. You didn't get a choice. Everyone played the violin.
I remember everyone having their own violin.
Yeah, and then when I got to middle school, we had to pick instruments. So like wind instruments and shit.
In middle school, you did?
Yeah, I was at the McGlynn.
The McGlynn made you all play an instrument.
Well, you had a choice. You could either do band or chorus.
As a class.
Yeah. As like an elective.
Oh, see, I think we all did chorus, and we just went in. The corners of the chair, if you pulled on them a certain way, they sounded like a fart. So we did that.
Okay.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And I had a teacher had the same name as the woman from Paramore, Haley Williamson.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh. Wasn't her though.
No, that's lame. So yeah, I remember being there, and like, they only had like a certain amount for like each person, and I remember everybody wanted to play the fucking trumpet, and like,
what?
I don't know, but like for whatever reason, everyone that was in my class, there was like fucking 25 people. Everyone wanted to play the fucking trumpet, so they had like names on the board, and I forget whether they went alphabetically or they did it like at random, but I remember like looking at the board and the people signing up for shit, and like there was only like 2 trumpet spots left, and there was like a couple trombones, and then they had like a fuck ton of space for like clarinets or whatever, but like only one person had signed up for the flute at that time, and I was like, that's weird. It's like, why doesn't anyone want to do that? I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to play the flute. So when they came to me, I think there were still spots open in every instrument, but like there might have been like 1 trumpet spot left, and I was like, you know what, fuck all you guys, I'm playing the flute.
You have to buy a flute?
No, they gave it to me. Well, they gave it to me, but you had to pay like a user fee for it. and then like after the year,
They give it back?
no, it was yours.
Oh,
So you like paid in like installments, whatever it was. You paid, I don't know, probably like $30 a month for like the school year.
we all just did chorus or whatever. I feel like it wasn't chorus though, because I don't remember singing.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just a music class. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Angels was just different.
Yeah, it could have been.
But I remember all the kids, like all the public school kids, they always had their fucking violins with them. This is so stupid.
Yeah, you fucking loser.
I'm like, this is so stupid. No, it's not bad. What's the other one? No, clarinet. Is it one that begins with an S?
Saxophone?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was trumpet, saxophone, trombone, clarinet, and then the flute were all the ones that we would play. And then we would join with, so there were two separate classes. There was like the wind instrument class, and then there was like the violin. So like the people that...
String instruments.
The strings, yeah. So the guys that stayed with it from elementary school through middle school, and when we did our concerts, we would come together as like a giant fucking group. And I remember being like, wow, there's a lot of fucking people on the stage right now. I was like, I don't really even have to play.
No, you don't have to play.
I don't have to play it.
No, you don't
no
have
one
to
would
play.
notice. So I would literally be there for like the concerts and just like move my fingers.
Well, it's like, I think when I was in like the second grade, someone convinced me to do choir.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, cool. And it was like assigned seats
Yeah.
in there, but I think you kind of pick. Like, what about that seat? Like, you want that one? I'm like, yeah. Okay. I sat behind a pole.
That's awesome.
Sat behind a pole.
Fuck 'em. That was so stupid. I used to hate like playing instruments.
So stupid.
It's dumb. But then when I got to high school, well, no, actually in middle school, like 7th grade, I think I started playing the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to play guitar, but...
And then I quit after my freshman year of high school because it was one of those, like, I was doing too much. Like, I was playing football, and I played lacrosse, and then in the winter, I think I still played indoor soccer in the winter. And I just had, like, a bunch of shit, and I was in high school, and then you, like, actually hang out with friends after high school, like, you don't just go home. And it's like,
I went home playing my guitar.
I can't, yeah, that's
Watch
why.
TVs.
So that's why I stopped playing the guitar, because I just didn't have the time for it. So, yeah. Music's dumb.
Music's not bad,
Even though
but
it's not.
fucking
But
playing-
I just didn't
playing
enjoy
those, like, jazz band or
I'm not a
orchestras.
musical person.
So
So
stupid.
it was super fucking hard for me.
Yeah, even now, like Michaela's cousin was saying, like they like bring their guitars up, like, oh, Bob, you want to play? I'm like, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Oh, it comes back. I'm like, no, I know that. Like I can physically play.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
I think I only remember 2 chords. I think I remember D, and then E was like a weird one. Like D and E.
Right.
That's it.
Honestly,
Other than that, don't know any of it.
Again, it would come back to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they are. Like I think I remember G. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, G was one where it was spread out. Because I remember like...
I think it was like the second fret on the second string.
Uh-huh.
No, that's the 5th string. Second fret on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then like down on the 1st string or something.
I remember having like the hardest time trying to figure out like the finger placements because my hands aren't that big.
No.
And then when I was younger, my hands were even less as big.
I'm like, I wouldn't even know. I couldn't even.
Yeah.
I would have to practice just to fucking play with you people who, admittedly and acceptingly, aren't that good either.
Right.
Like, no, they say, they go,
Yeah.
well, none of us are all that good either. I go, I know, but like, I don't remember anything.
Right.
I go, have you ever heard someone practicing guitar? It's fucking horrible. It's like, bang, 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 bang. Oh, hit a fret. But like,
Yeah.
and then it's like again and again and again because they're trying to learn it and you keep hearing it and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this guitar and I'm gonna fucking Jeff Jarrett it right now.
Yeah.
Like it is a fucking horror show. It fucking
It's
sucks.
It is absolutely terrible. There's nothing worse than listening to someone else trying to play an instrument.
No, that's why I at least had the fucking decency to just plug my fucking guitar into my headphones and I would sit there and play.
Right.
I could fucking hear.
Yeah.
Not dun, dun, dun,
Long.
like,
Or like someone trying to play the piano. And any instrument, doesn't matter. Anyone
Horrible.
trying to learn.
absolutely terrible.
That's why I don't know how like instrument teachers did it. like band teachers. Like you have a room full of prepubescent students trying to learn how to play instruments, and all they want to do is just fuck around with each other.
Like we learned in School of Rock, those who can't do, teach. And
true.
Those who can't teach gym.
Fair. It was a great movie.
It is a great movie.
I was almost gonna call it a classic, but I don't know. I would call it a classic.
It's quotable, memorable.
Yeah. Good movie.
Classic's tough. I don't know because now I don't know what the cutoff is anymore.
I know.
Because I think old school sneaking into classic range.
Yeah, it's weird. We were talking the other day, like,
the 03, 04 movies, they've got to be moving into class. What do you think? Like 15 years?
Yeah, I think 15 is a cutoff. It's a good cutoff.
I think 15.
And like 15 to 20, because once it's 20 years old,
Definitely
it's like,
moving into classic territory.
That's classic territory. Yeah. Which is weird. Like we were talking about the Daytona 500 the other day, and like all the people like racing in there. I was like, oh yeah, Ryan Blaney. Yeah, I used to watch his dad race, and then like John H. Nemechek, and I was like, yep, used to watch Joe Nemechek, his dad race all the time when I was a kid, and I was like, it's weird when I used to watch racing 15, 20 years ago, like I used to watch these guys race, and now we just put on the Daytona 500 yesterday, and it's all their kids now.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, like I feel really fucking old.
I'm waiting for the golf kids to like cycle through. I feel like they're all still too young.
Yeah.
But golf's also one of those where I don't want to diminish what NASCAR racers do. Racing a car is easier than playing golf. It just fucking is. Sorry.
Driving.
Do you need any...
The act of driving a car is easier than figuring out how to play golf. Yes, I will give you that.
So I would also say, if you work really, really, really hard to be a NASCAR driver, and you're given all the right tools, you're probably going to get there.
Not necessarily.
What would you put the likelihood at?
Very unlikely.
Okay, maybe there's like golf then. Well, I don't know, because... So it's like...
It's very hard to break into NASCAR.
So here's the other thing. There are no kids.
Yeah.
Of any of these guys on tour. Like, none. And everyone's kids usually fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like Jack Nicklaus's kids, all terrible.
Right. I've never even heard of them. Didn't even know he had kids.
One hit a hole in one on the par 3 a couple years ago. No, they try to make it work and they can't.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just, none of them.
Well, the kids are never as good as the dads. I can't think of one instance.
In
where
what? Any sport?
In any sport.
Steph Curry?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning?
Yeah, but, alright, so there's a difference between, like, alright, so Archie Manning is probably the only one. Because there's a difference between, like, being a professional and then, like, playing in the league. Like, Pat Mahomes' dad, like, played in the MLB, but he's not, like, a true, like, baseball player. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's
just because you cracked the fucking roster.
I think it's also hard because we don't know some of these guys.
Yeah.
Like, the Colquitts, like, their father played. And, like, their uncle, like, we just don't know them.
Right.
Because, like, what if one of those guys is just, say, Patrick Chung? He's a decent pro, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to be remembered.
Right.
Outside of us. But, like, if you were alive at the time, you'll recognize, hey, Patrick Chung, he was pretty good. So if Patrick Chung Jr. all of a sudden comes through and is a fucking stud,
yeah,
it's hard to say, because it's like, oh, Patrick Chung, he was a fine player, but...
Yeah. I still think maybe just Peyton Manning.
Brett Hall, Bobby Hall, they were both really good.
Yeah. But, like, I'm saying, like, where one was, like, significantly... Where one was great, and then the other one was better.
Yes.
So, like,
no,
Archie Manning wasn't great. He won a Heisman.
Archie?
Didn't he?
No. Archie Griffin won, too.
Oh, that's what it was.
Archie Manning was fine. Like, the definition of it.
Yeah, but, like, was he, like, Alex Smith fine?
Alex Smith was probably better.
That's what I mean. So like, just being in the league doesn't like. I'm talking like a dad that's great, and then the son that's better. Doesn't happen.
So
ever.
so like Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Or that's not fair. He's the best ever.
Right. That's tough.
That's not fair.
That's tough.
So, Peter Forsberg.
Yeah.
Sergei Fedorov.
Yeah.
Those guys were really
Those guys were
good.
really fucking good. Yeah.
So if they had a kid,
That was like.
they're not going to surpass them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It doesn't happen. You don't have that because.
No, you get
it's a law. It's almost like a law of diminishing returns because you get to the point where like when your dad is so good and is at a certain level, you're forever gonna live in his shadow.
Yeah, so like
Michael Jordan's kid, terrible. Like ended up not being able to do anything. But like his entire life, he lived as Michael Jordan's son.
Right.
You know, like
Ken Griffey. I don't know how good his father was.
his dad was decent.
The Boons. I bet you there's more baseball. Barry Bonds.
Who's Barry Badgernath? Who's Barry Badgernath?
Should give him for our team.
But even like, because I was gonna say like in NASCAR, like as good as Dale Earnhardt Jr. was, his dad was way fucking better.
Yeah, but his dad was one of the best of all time. So it's
Right.
it's not so that one because
Yeah.
actually, how good was Dale Jr.? Was he good?
All things considered,
Say he wasn't. Say his name was fucking Sam Horn. Was he a good racer?
yeah, he was pretty good. He wasn't great.
Is
he was pretty good.
Does NASCAR have a Hall of Fame?
Yes,
Would he be in?
probably.
Okay, then I think that it's not fair to compare him to his father because his father was one of the best ever.
Yeah, he's because Dale Jr. won.
I don't think he won
Two.
nearly as much as.
I think he won 2 Daytona. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame because
I
I
don't
don't
know if
think
he won one, did he?
I don't think he won a cup. I don't think he ever won a cup title. He won 2 or 3 Daytonas. He's won a bunch of races. He probably has like 30 or 40 wins throughout his career. But I don't know if he actually ever won a title, like a championship. His dad won 7. He's tied for the most ever with Jimmy Johnson.
That's what I mean is. So actually, I guess Brett Hall's probably better than Bobby Hall.
He can drink more too.
That was the only redeeming quality about the Blues winning last year.
So is that the only instant? Well, I mean, Ken Griffey. I'll give you Griffey Jr. is better than Griffey. But again, I don't know how good Griffey Sr. was.
Bobby Bonds, I think, was pretty good too.
Yeah. So, like, I guess it would be like, you have to be like an above average player. You know what I mean? Like, good. Like, you have to be really good. You know, like if Manny Ramirez's kid ended up being better than Manny, I'd be like, all right, cool.
That's hard though. That's a hard ask.
But Manny's not one of the greatest to ever do it.
He has a lot of home runs.
Manny is really, really fucking good, but he's not in GOAT status.
No, but
You know that, like, that's what I'm saying.
what about like a Carlos Delgado?
You know what? Actually,
Because he's
No, you know
almost
who-
the definition of above average.
you know who has the potential? Is Vlad Guerrero and his kid, Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, because Vlad Guerrero
is a fucking stud.
Vlad Guerrero was good.
Vlad Guerrero was very fucking good.
Numbers wise, stat wise, he's not like top.
Right.
But he's a good player.
Right.
Yeah. I did pull up
Dale Jr.
yeah. 98-99 Busch Series champion. Is that like second tier or is that good?
Yeah, that's the B League.
Okay. I won 2 Daytonas.
Yep.
I mean, Talladega's.
What does he have, like 38-ish career wins?
NASCAR Xfinity Series champion? Oh, as an owner. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many total wins. I don't really care.
Yeah. Like typically.
26.
Ah, Jesus, that's not even a lot. No, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He's not great. Not
So, was
good. He's good, not great.
Well, yeah. So,
Very.
I don't know. Just. So, the
I
thing
think
with
it's one of those
anyway, so
things.
the only point I was trying to make with NASCAR was there seems to be some children
Yeah.
that come through, like you just named 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
There are like no golfers.
Right.
It's like like one of the latest I heard of was Taylor Funk, and he was playing at Texas and cannot play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Fred Funk's kid. It's like.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't speak to those golfer guys either, but like, I know in NASCAR, like racing is like their way. That's like the only thing they know how to do.
For some of these guys, it's that.
You know, it's like they grow up on the racetrack.
No, it would then it's the same.
Yeah.
The only thing that's which is probably quite similar, could probably even mix tennis in there. You can be a phenomenal golfer and not be anywhere remotely close to being able to play on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Like you can be disgusting at golf.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Right.
And I don't know if there's anything like it in other sports. Because like if you take the best basketball player, say the top 5 to 10 basketball players in the country this year. Some of them are going to be really good. Some of them might be like role players, okay, and we'll never hear about, the last third.
Right.
Golfers are like, the top 10 amateurs. You might get one good.
Yeah.
6 that kind of hang around.
It's almost like hockey. Like you're only going to get real production out of like the top 3 draft picks.
Yeah.
That's it. 5 in a good year. In a deep draft.
Yeah. But I'm talking like, but those guys will get an opportunity.
Right.
Golfers don't even get the chance.
Yeah.
They're not even good enough.
Yeah.
They're not even good enough to get within shouting distance. And it's like fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have no idea how we got on that.
Yeah, I haven't did. We started talking about the Daytona 500.
Yeah, but that wasn't that.
Because we watched that and we lost. We bet on it. I bet 4 different guys. It was Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Clint Boyer.
Yep, you gave me those last 2 picks, so I threw a quarter unit on each.
Yep. So
and, Brad Keselowski is winning.
We made the joke that they're all gonna crash.
Well. So I made the joke that they were going to crash into each other. The 2 I had were just going to take each other out in the first lap.
Yep.
But 20 laps to go.
Brad Keselowski's in
winning.
First place.
And his teammate is Joey Logano.
Yep.
Who...
Big douchebag.
Friend of ours from high school. She knows him.
Mm-hmm.
And, huge fan. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out he's a huge fucking turd.
Yeah.
And just fucking wrecks people.
Yep, all the time.
So he wrecks Keselowski, takes him out, and
who is
half
his
the field,
teammate,
and half the field.
Granted, he didn't hit him directly. He hit Eric Almirola, who was in front of him, and then Almirola went into Keselowski and turned him.
By the way, back in the day, was there that much contact with racing?
Oh yeah,
okay.
There was probably more.
Okay, never mind then. Because I don't watch racing much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Keselowski gets taken out. Clint Boyer somehow trickles his way through.
Just fucking missed it.
Yep. Then there's a second crash. It's Logano again.
Yes.
Clint Boyer somehow trickles his way through.
Just makes it through. So Keselowski is gone. Truex Jr. got caught up in the second one. So now
you still have Harvick and Boyer.
So
and
I'm down
Boyer.
to Harvick and Boyer.
So we get to, I think we're down to 6 laps, and there's another crash.
Yep.
And Boyer, yet again, sneaks his way through. I don't know how he keeps doing it.
Yeah. He's in 4th place.
So then they do the caution.
Yep.
They go to the final lap.
Yep.
And, the second they drop the flag for the final lap, Boyer gets, taken out of nowhere. Randomly gets taken out.
Yep. Crash.
So
Done.
He's out.
So they stop. They redo the green-white checkered again.
There was another crash.
Yes.
3rd try.
Yes.
And we almost witnessed death.
We did, yeah. And so
Kevin Harvick didn't get through.
The only guy I had left alive was Kevin Harvick.
He tumbled down the leaderboard.
I think there might have been only 18 cars left.
Or something like that.
That finished the race, which means there may have only been 12 roughly that were on the lead lap.
Yep.
Because some cars might have just stayed out after getting damage or whatever. So yeah, Kevin Harvick at one point was in like third, fourth, and I was like, I got a shot. And then
he
on the
just goes
final restart,
6, 8,
yeah,
12.
he just fell back. Yeah, I think he ended up finishing top 10, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, and then coming around at the very end, we saw live what Twitter was just fucking blowing up about was the Ryan Newman crash.
Yep.
That was probably the worst crash that I've ever seen. I've seen cars flip through the air before. Like, I've seen cars, like, I saw Dale Earnhardt Sr. go right into the wall. Like, I watched that live.
Which actually, I did watch that again, and a lot of people said, oh, same thing. Not the same thing.
No, not the same thing.
Like, he hit the wall, like, license plate, hood ornament, into the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Newman hit, like, headlight.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it much better,
No.
but better.
Right. Well, also is very different then to now.
It's 19 years of technology.
Dale Sr. was the only, I can't say only, but he was one of like a very, very few people that wore a half helmet. Because like back in the 80s, they used to wear the half helmets, and then they changed the rule that you had to wear a full helmet. He was grandfathered in, so he only wore a half helmet. They didn't have the head and neck restraint device yet. Like, there were a lot of things that, like, unfortunately, if he had that same crash today, he would walk out of it.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't change history. But that Ryan Newman crash was terrible. He got flipped. He went head on into the wall. His car went in the air, and then as it flipped, his driver's side got nailed by Corey LaJoy, I think it was, who was probably doing somewhere in the vicinity of like 190 miles an hour.
Yep.
Because they're going 200.
Yep.
So like when that happened, it all happened so fast when you're doing 200 miles an hour. Like he probably was on the brakes for about half a second. Like his reaction time, like he might not even hit the brake. He might have just had enough time to take his foot off the gas.
Yep.
Like that's how fast this shit happens. So he probably hit Ryan Newman's driver's side around 190, 195 miles an hour. And that proceeded to flip him further through the air.
To which he again fell on the passenger side.
Fell driver's
second
side.
Time. Driver's side. Second time.
Down driver's side and then skidded across the track, across pit lane.
Finishing 4th.
Yeah, he finished 4th.
Should've won.
It was scary for a little bit. Like they showed the crash, they showed him go off to the side, and then Denny Hamlin won, and then he goes around, he does his victory lap, he comes out. They do a little celebration in the infield. Again, Twitter fucking roasted them for that, but like they didn't know. No one knew how bad it was.
Nope.
Because if you look at it, like where they were on the infield versus like where Ryan Newman's car was, like further down, like they can't see. Like they just see a bunch of cars, like the wrecker is over there, like getting ready to like load the fucking car on and like drag it off. Like they don't know that this dude's potentially fighting for his life. And like, so he does a burnout, they celebrate, then they go into victory lane. And then when they get to victory lane, someone kind of tells them like, hey, listen, like, you know, Ryan Newman's still in his car. Like they haven't gotten him out yet. So like, they're all in victory lane and like he gets out of his car and then the NASCAR officials like pop the confetti, but like they all just kind of stand there.
Yeah.
So like the confetti's falling, but like they're not celebrating.
Right.
And then like they do an interview or whatever and like they say like I really hope he's okay. And cool. Like they had no idea how bad it was when it first happened. I don't think anybody really did outside of the first responders that went to the crash. Turns out he needed to be cut out of the car.
Yep.
They put screens up. I've never seen that before.
Yep.
In a race. Granted, I haven't watched NASCAR in the last probably decade, but I've been watching NASCAR outside of that break window since I was like 7 or 8 years old.
I would say I didn't. So obviously I don't watch.
Yeah.
Ever. The only reason I watched this year is because we bet on it, and I tailed your picks.
Yeah.
But I looked at it, and this is, again, me without having any knowledge.
Yeah.
I look at it, I go, oh, fuck. That's a big crash. Like, alright. Then I see his car's on fire, and the gas is leaking out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh fuck, they gotta put that out. They do, and I'm like, oh, okay, so let's wait for the window to like, pop and
Yeah.
he'll kind of like, get out.
And he never gets out.
Or then it was like people came up to the car. I'm like, all right, well, they'll get him out.
Yeah.
They didn't get him out. I'm like,
They didn't get him out. So the car was on its roof.
yes.
They had to flip the car over.
Yep.
And then cut him out of the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like obviously people on Twitter are like, hey, this isn't good.
No. They put screens up.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, they were like,
Ever.
this
So
is,
the crowd couldn't see what was
Right.
going on.
And then people in the crowd are saying, hey, they cut him out and there ain't no movement down there.
Right.
Like media's kicked out.
Right.
Everyone's like,
And the way the broadcast went out, it was like they go to victory lane, they interview Denny Hamlin, he says like, yeah, it's great we won, but like, my thoughts with Ryan Newman and whatever. And then it cuts back to Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon who are in the booth, and Jeff Gordon looks like he's fucking crying, like he's been crying, like his eyes are like glassy and bloodshot, and he doesn't say anything. Mike Joy is just saying like, obviously there's an accident, the first responders are down there, they're working on it, whatever, and then Jeff Gordon says something super quick, and then the coverage just ends, and then it goes to like fucking
something terrible.
Lone Star 911, like that new stupid show.
Oh
with
yeah, it's
fucking,
like their programming.
yeah, with what's his face, Chris Traeger from Parks and Rec, Rob Lowe, he's in that show, and it's like everyone's like, are you shitting me? Like there's no coverage on this at all, and then it took until like 10:15 last night for them to release a statement that said that Ryan Newman is in the hospital. He's in serious condition, but his injuries are not life-threatening. And then everyone was like, oh, thank God. But like, that was terrible. The race probably ended at like 7:30?
Maybe earlier.
Yeah, and it took them until
over 24 hours.
10:15 that night.
Yep.
For them to
What's the thing? And people are sitting there like, well, why aren't we hearing anything? Like, I don't know. Maybe the fucking guy needs emergency surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, for what we know, the fucking guy's collarbone could be through his goddamn fucking neck right now. And the only reason it's still alive is because they need to get him to the surgery table to remove and repair. Like,
Right.
I don't fucking know.
Right.
I mean, that might be medically impossible, but,
Fuck 'em.
what the fuck do we know?
Yeah, we're just a couple of assholes.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Well, you want to start wrapping this up?
Yeah, speaking of not sustaining life-threatening injuries,
Yeah.
I used a chainsaw yesterday.
Oh shit.
I was outside, so out back, which if anyone has been listening long enough, I want to get the goats to eat all the brush and the thorns and all that crap.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was pretty nice, and I was in the mood to do some shoring.
Yep.
So I went back there. I had the machete or the scythe.
Mm-hmm.
I had the hedge clippers.
Yeah.
And I'm basically just kind of going to town on shit. I'm like ripping some like little sapling things out, whatever. And Michaela's with us, and out there there's a statue, which I learned from someone in the tree biz, if you will.
Yeah.
That statue.
When you first said that there's a statue out there, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So a statue is not quite a tree stump,
Yeah.
but not quite a full tree either.
Right.
So for example, someone cut down, like 6 feet.
Half a tree.
Say it's like 6 feet of stump.
Yeah.
That's a statue.
Right.
So Michaela's kind of like hitting it, and like pieces are falling off, which is oddly satisfying. I'll give her credit. It's like, I was kind of doing the same thing too. Like, hey, you hit it and a bunch falls off. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
It's like you're winning something.
Yeah.
So next door, boss comes out.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Bob, you want a chainsaw? I was like, not really. I don't know how to use one, and she's just kind of hitting that thing for fun right now. He's like, I'll go get it for you. Like, pulls it out. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
So, electric chainsaw, 14 inches. Really, this is not like,
Yeah.
this isn't a real thing. We're not cutting down redwoods here. Like,
we're not gonna fucking deforest the Amazon with this thing.
no. It's fucking $50 at Walmart and it's electric. Like,
Yeah.
there's really very little that could go bad with this thing. The only way it can go bad is if it starts going towards my body and I keep my finger on the trigger. That's the only way this goes badly.
I mean, does it really though?
I mean, if I cut my foot off, probably, because I mean I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Then I'm just gonna be missing a foot.
Then you just fall on top of it.
The chainsaw.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, you could like drive it into your own head if you wanted to.
Oh, you could definitely.
But, so he brings it over and I get it going. I'm like, all right, well, I have it. I'll use it. I have all my fingers, all my limbs, and all my toes.
Very nice. And you didn't even wear chainsaw pants.
I did not wear chainsaw pants.
Which I don't think you have to.
Not that thing, dude. I feel like I could have thrown a fucking piece of lint in there and it would have got fucking tied up.
But you cut down the statue.
I did cut down the statue with power tools.
Yeah. Do we have another stump situation?
It's like a little stump. The diameter on it's probably like less than 12 inches.
Okay.
So I was thinking that if anyone feels ambitious with an axe, I know how you like using that axe.
Woo!
There's a stump out there that can be axed.
Yes.
We can axe it, we can burn it, we have the reciprocating saw.
True.
I mean, dude, the chainsaw is just in the shed, we can just go take it. Like,
yeah.
we could dig it up,
Right.
really whatever we want.
Yeah.
Also, it's in a spot that really isn't in the way.
Yeah.
It's really like if I want to get a shed, it would go back there and then the stump would be in the way, but, I mean, there's a lot of fucking tree and branch to clear out.
Yeah.
A lot of burning.
There's a lot of shit back
A lot of burning to be done.
there. Yeah, you gotta build that wood cabin.
I gotta buy the firewood shed.
Yeah, firewood shed. Yeah, there you go.
Then we can cut up some logs and split them.
Yeah.
And leave them there to dry out.
Yeah, we'll be like real people, like real woodsmen.
Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I like woodsmen.
Hates of woods.
They're both hard, they're made of woods. You guys need to fucking watch Letterkenny.
They might be.
They might be. This is true.
I saw a Letterkenny reference in a strength and conditioning blog post.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Dean,
awesome.
well, Dean Somerset's Canadian,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
so
Yeah,
I saw it in there.
nice.
Started laughing.
So my final thought is, oh boy, it's back. You ready for this one?
Chlamydia?
It's your favorite fucking time of year.
My favorite time of year?
Yep.
What?
Mercury just re-entered retrograde.
I'm fucking out of here.
Mercury is back in retrograde from today until March 9th.
Maybe I'll embrace it. Like, instead of people being like every day, like, hey, what's wrong with you?
Just
And
be
I
like,
have to flip them off. I'm like, dude, Mercury again.
Mercury's in retrograde, yeah.
Fucking Mercury, dude.
So it was also in retrograde back in like I think October or November, and I totally missed it, forgot it. We didn't get to celebrate, but I love.
How does one celebrate Mercury in retrograde?
I don't know. You just lay on the couch and put a blanket over your head and cry a lot. I think. Like I don't think. I don't know. How does one celebrate Mercury in retrograde?
I don't know. I usually just kind of go on living my life. And
Yeah, same.
whatever happens, happens.
But I can't wait to use that as an excuse now. If someone's like, "Oh, why are you being such a fucking asshole?" I don't know, dude. Mercury's in retrograde.
Dude, and by the time Mercury gets out of retrograde, we'll be in Savannah.
That's true. That is very true. That's gonna be a fucking blast.
I know.
So watch out, folks. Mercury is in retrograde.
You've all been warned.
Yeah, I forget what that means. I remember we did a whole episode, not a whole episode. That would be absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And I would hope that we would remember.
But we did a whole segment for sure on Mercury being in retrograde and like what it actually means. But I can't remember it because it's not that important.
It doesn't matter whatsoever,
It
actually.
literally doesn't matter. But be prepared for people to use that as a bullshit excuse for shit now. So
I'm going to try to use it as much as I can.
that's the challenge.
Oh, Bob, how you doing today? Well, Mercury's in retrograde. And just keep walking. What does that mean? It means exactly what it means.
That's how you get yourself in trouble. Because remember I said that when I was at work over like last summer. And someone was like, "Oh, dude, what's the matter?" And I was like, "Mercury's in retrograde." And they were like, "Oh, really? You follow astrology? And I was like, oh fuck, what did I get myself into?
No, that's easy. Let's just pretend that exact scenario happens.
Yeah.
Start with the gasp,
Yeah.
and I'll show you how I would respond. You have to.
You follow astrology?
Nope. And I keep walking. That's how that works. That's how it ends.
I should have had you with me last summer because I got sucked into a whole thing with my coworkers about that. Because I made a fucking joke.
You couldn't have gotten yourself out of that situation.
I mean, I could have. I just chose not to.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for us, kids. Be careful out there over the next few weeks. You don't want Mercury to fall out of the sky and crush you.
That's because that's what retrograde means.
That's what it means. Keep looking up at the sky. Every time you go to cross the street, you gotta look up at the sky and make sure Mercury's not falling. Thank you for watching on YouTube. I don't know why you're still watching at this point. But if you are, you should just click subscribe. Stay up to date on all the videos that we put out. Click subscribe wherever you're listening to, whatever podcast streaming service you're listening on. Keep spreading the word too. There's been the last couple episodes have gotten a lot of fucking downloads and a lot of views on YouTube. So thanks. That's you guys. Thank you. That's all of you. So keep spreading the word. Keep telling everybody. And maybe, hopefully, we'll eventually have a fucking sponsor. I want Dubs. I want Dubs as our first sponsor. I think I've made that. Even though it probably won't ever happen because they're a local business. And podcasting is not just local. So, but maybe someday. Yeah, I want a goddamn fucking sponsor. We're on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_Speaks. Facebook page is just Sarcasm Speaks. And until next time, good night, everyone.